Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to my channel. Placing an order with a supplier costs money. Even though you might think your employees' wages and shipping costs are essentially free, given the value of merchandise, they have significant impact on the cost of your orders. In this video, I will show you how to calculate an economy order quantity, which is the number of items that minimizes your total cost. Let's begin. You can download my sample file here in the below link to calculate EOQ. That's an Excel workbook that you can find in these video collections. I have two worksheets in this workbook. The first has the information we need to calculate the economy order quantity or EOQ. So you can see we have the setup cost, which is what the cost to place an order, the flow rate, which is the number of units that you expect to order in a year, the wholesale cost that you pay for each item, and inventory percentage. The inventory percentage is the percent of an item's value that your company assumes it costs to keep an item on hand for a year. This is something that you will be told properly by your operator manager, or is something that you can calculate or at least estimate from experience. There are a couple of assumptions that I should make clear regarding the EOQ. The first is that we are assuming that orders are placed and then the inventory appears instantly. In other words, there's no lead time. We can change that later, but for now, that's what we are assuming. And we are also assuming that none of their parameters change. So, the setup cost, flow rate, item cost, and inventory percentage will remain the same. To give you an idea of what that looks like, I've switched to the tracking chart worksheet, and here is what your inventory level will look like. We will start a value, for example 220, and then sell unit we get down to 0. And when we have no inventory on hand, we have placed an order and we pop up to the amounts that we order. So in other words, there's no lag time between when we order and when the items appear. So you get this distinctive sawtooth diagram. Okay, with all that context in place, let's go back to the EOQ worksheet and we can calculate our holding cost, which we need for the equations we have over on the right. So I will click in cell B7 and type an equal sign, and we'll multiply the item cost by the inventory percentage. So that is B5 times B6 and enter. And we get a holding cost of $9. Now we can calculate the EOQ or economy order quantity, also called Q star. I have the formula that we need to create in Excel over on the right side of the worksheet. So in cell B8, I will type an equal sign and we are taking the square root. So that SQRT, and then in parameters, we need to multiply 2 by the setup cost. And that's in cell B3 multiplied by the flow rate, which is our annual demand in B4, and we divide that by the holding cost, which we calculated in cell B7, right? So I will type in the right parentheses and enter, and we get our EOQ of 219.09, which we can round up the whole units to 220. If you're interested, you can play around by changing the setup cost, flow rate, and other parameters to see how that will affect your EOQ. Just last one example, let's say that the inventory percentage get cut in half from 20% to 10%, and let's see how that will affect the EOQ by making it less expensive to hold inventory. So in cell B6, I will type 10% and enter, and we see that we go up by 90 units. So we go from 220 to 310. So as you can see, cutting the holding cost in half allow us to hold a lot more inventory. Okay? So that's the end of my sharing in today's video. I will record more videos like this with sample file of how to solve supply chain inventory problem. Subscribe to my channels and click the notifications button to be notified when my next video is available. Once again, my name is Vivienne and I see you in my next video.